entomological. That's a big word. Hello, friends and fiends. Welcome to Bugs Need Heroes, a podcast where an artist and an entomologist team up to illustrate the inspiring abilities of insects by creating a bug-themed superhero. I'm Amanda.
And I'm Kelly.
Producer Derek and... Is anyone there?
Rotunda is here.
Okay. Producer Derek and Rotunda are also here. Before we get started creating this bug-themed superhero, what's bugging you, Kelly?
Well, we are creeping ever close to Thanksgiving.
Yes.
And we're trying to figure out family plans. So we go to my in-laws' house outside of Boston. Usually we stay with my my father and mother-in-law, who are excellent. But I think we're staying with my brother-in-law this time because my other brother-in-law and his wife are coming out from Ohio. So it's going to be a big family. Big Zimmerman family time out there. We bring the cats with us.
I love that you guys bring the cats. It's so cute to me. They're like, the whole family's coming.
The whole family. Cat's got to be there.
The cat's got to come.
My in-laws love the cats too. They love when they play and they get a kick out of it. If Darcy sits on my father-in-law, he is so happy about it. So it's
I think
good.
Part of my amusement about it is like, I don't think of cats as a traveling pet. You know, you take your dog with you in the car. So they must have fun once they're there, but getting there must be horrible.
It's like a 4.5 hour drive, and the cats don't want to be in their carriers. They have good sized carriers. We have a pretty big, we have a cross track now, so we've got plenty of space for them.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that you went all Portland on me. Like,
yeah, we're proud Subaru owners now. But once they get there, they're pretty happy because my in-laws have a bunch of cat toys. They have treats. Everyone pets them and plays with them. They're
gotta spoil those
pretty friendly guys. Yeah, the grand kitties. But I think we'll be at my brother-in-law's house. He has a cat. His cat is the scarediest of cats and never comes out. So our dudes will probably be in the finished basement with us. And the other cat, they will likely never meet. Even though my dudes are friendly and would love to meet her.
My mother-in-law has a second cat that has lived in the house for 5 years. I've seen it maybe 3 times because whenever I come over, I bring the children with me. And my oldest was just the right age to come barreling at that cat when she was a kitten.
Oh, no.
And she said, "Oh, never again." So anytime she even hears our car pull up, she's gone. Out of there. And I feel so bad because I'm like, just be our friend. Just be our friend. Be so soft and gentle with you, I promise.
We'll pet you. Just come out and get the pets.
Yeah, we'll feed you so many tuna cans. But alas.
I know that a lot of people's cats do not handle traveling in new spaces well. It's generally, I think, frowned upon to travel with a cat most of the time, but our guys like it.
Yeah.
So I think it really depends on the cat. Some cats you will traumatize if you remove them from their home and bring them on vacation or whatever. But our guys have been doing it since they were babies, so they're like used to it. They're into it.
they're good. They're fine.
Although
so we're doing. Oh,
sorry. One year, my sister-in-law was, I think it was the first year or second year we brought Darcy with us. We just got Darcy, and she realized he likes turkey. And she gave him so much turkey, he vomited on Thanksgiving. So
the old Upchuckarama experience.
Yeah. She was so pumped that he was eating turkey from her hand, and then it was too much turkey. So now the rule is don't give the cats turkey.
Don't give the cats turkey. They'll overindulge in turkey bits. That's hilarious. No, we're doing big Christmas, so our Thanksgiving should be pretty low key. Just grandma. Assumably Derek will come. I don't know what his deal is. Yeah.
That sounds good. That's nice.
I'm counting down the days till Christmas when my siblings get here. It's like 37 days or something like that. I'm like, so close.
Yeah, because your other siblings are kind of spread out, right?
Yes, alas. There's 4 of us, and the other 2 live
away.
across this beautiful country of ours. Actually, one lives in the desert and one lives in the mountains. So, if you can call Idaho the mountains.
Yeah, kind of.
I have to go across the mountains to get there, so for me,
You
it's across
consider
the
it mountains.
Yeah.
Last time I was in Idaho, it was very flat. At least the
it's
sections I was
it's
in.
kind of flat till it's not flat. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's got a big mountain range down the middle.
Yeah, I went rafting down in that mountain range on the Salmon River, and it was very cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Idaho, beautiful, beautiful state. But I think we're talking about something not so beautiful today. If we want to.
We are. So it's most of the time on this podcast, I at least have a passing familiarity with the bug. I know what a ladybug is. I know what a dragonfly is. I know what a bee is. But I had no idea what this bug was. Zero. I didn't even know it existed until you guys were like, let's do antlions. And I was like, oh, what? Let's do a what?
You'd never heard of an antlion before?
Never even heard of it. No. And apparently they're deeply fascinating. So I'm very excited to learn all about this new bug.
Well, you must have been pretty excited then when Derek started keeping a few as pets.
Yeah. He's like, guys, I found an antlion. And I'm like, oh, what does that mean? You found a what lion? So. But yeah, producer Derek, it does in fact have several. I think 2, maybe 3 antlion pets currently.
2.
Just 2.
That I know of.
I thought there was a 3rd.
Oh, evidence contrary to each other. There may be 2, there may be 3. Maybe there was 3, now only 2.
Possibly.
So what is an antlion?
So an antlion is, when writing up the description for these, it was a little strange because they're weird looking little guys. Have you seen a lacewing before, Amanda?
A lacewing, to my brain,
I think one bit you.
Yes. One of the little squirrely whirly guys got me last summer, and I was like, "Why? I didn't do anything to you." Got me good.
So they have like funny looking little larvae, the lacewings, and then they become kind of pretty winged adults.
Little dainty little flitter about.
Yes, very dainty
bugs.
They're similar-ish, sort of, to the antlion, at least in looks-wise. So they start out as larvae, and the larvae. Did I not say lacewing?
No, you did. Sorry, I'm putting pictures in the chats for Amanda.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I only see the little pop-up in the corner of my screen. I keep the notifications on so that I can see when you're... I keep Discord lowered so that I can look at you guys when I'm talking. So it feels weird not to. Oh, yeah. Look at that little lacewing. Its goofy little face.
It kind of looks like an aphid with wings. Like if an aphid got a hold of someone else's wings and he was like, now's my chance.
And tacked him on there.
Exactly. Like you could write an Eric Carle book about an aphid who found someone else's wings and was like, now's my chance to be the bug I always knew I could be. And that's how the lacewing was born.
Yeah, so if Derek puts an adult antlion in there for Amanda to see. Yeah, look at that guy.
Oh, wow. His wing configuration is so interesting. There's like 2 to the side and then 2 down the body. It's kind of like if a dragonfly and a damselfly, they got one set of each wing configuration.
Oh, that's a good way to think about that. Yeah, it's resting in kind of a strange way. And you can see their antennae are really thick, not like a dragonfly or a damselfly. They're clubbed. Is that a Pokemon or a Digimon? Is it a Digimon?
Is it? This one's a Pokemon. We talked about this guy last time with the Flygon, and we talked about how the Trapinch becomes the Flygon, and she said that it was like an antlion, and I was like, I'll have to believe you because I'm not sure how an antlion works.
I was overwhelmed during that episode with with Pokemon goodness. But yeah, if you think of what was it called, the Trapinch?
The Trapinch was the little guy who has like a little body and then like a big chompy head.
Yeah, so larval antlions are very similar. They have little, sort of not quite football shaped, a little rounder than that bodies. It's called a fusiform body, where their thorax and their abdomen are more like one instead of two segments. Are you?
Oh,
Did you?
wow.
Oh, did Derek put one in the chat?
Derek
Yeah.
just put one in the.
Look at them.
Wow. They could have gone harder on the trap inch if they were basing it on the antlion. This guy could be a final form. He's intense.
He's very intense. And they have
So
all
he's
those little bristles that keep them wedged in the sand. But
the
look at the
second one where he's
pinchies.
on his back and his legs are all curled up, he looks like he's like, oh no, oh no, my modesty. No, don't see me.
Oh, his little legs are crimped.
Yeah. But he's kind of got like a, I'd say, I don't know, tick-shaped body, and then he's kind of got this
Big
little,
pinchums.
yeah, he's got like this little bit that serves kind of as a neck that I think normally would be the middle bit of a bug, and then the head with these two mondo pinchers on the end. Very, very similar in shape to the male earwig.
Yeah, I would say they're similar in shape to that.
He's kind of the inverse of the of the earwig. Chompy's on front.
This is where the being in a audio medium fails us a little bit, because you really need a photo of an antlion.
Please go Google antlion so you can see this beautiful
Google antlion larva specifically. Yeah. Although you should look at the adults because they're quite pretty too.
And his leg configuration is very interesting as well. It seems like he's got kind of 4 up front and then 2 about midway back. Am I seeing that correctly, or am I a kookadoodle right now?
No, yeah, you are.
This bug is all mixed up.
It's a lot more going on the front end of an antlion. It's likely to keep them in the sand. So antlion larvae are usually found buried in loose, sandy substrate, although some of them do live in leaf litter or in the crevices of trees. Mostly though, they're in sand. They keep their little bodies buried with those pinchies up, and the arms and all those backward-facing bristles keep them anchored in the sand, so when they go to grab something, they don't get pulled out. So you can picture all of that keeping them in. And then they just kind of hang out. They make a little pit trap. They swirl around, making sort of a cup in the sand, and they sit under the cup. And when something walks by, they grab with those big pinchums.
So are they waiting for things to fall in the pit, or just...
Yeah, they want you to like end up in the pit, and then they'll grab you.
And then they chomp you.
Then they do a lot of chomping.
Chomp, chomp.
They're called antlions because there's a bit of a legend that mostly what they eat is ants, because ants will easily fall into the little pit.
Like an ant eater. He's an ant lion.
But they'll eat anything.
Such a jump. Such a jump. What hunts things? Lions. He eats ants like a lion would if a lion ate ants.
If a lion dug a pit and just waited for animals to come by. So not at all.
Lion's got the best PR team on the planet. He's king of the jungle, even though he doesn't live in the jungle. He's, the big mane. He's king of the pride, even though he really doesn't seem to do much for the pride at all.
The females do all the hunting.
Like, some male lion out there made a great deal to be like, okay, I'm just gonna become the symbol of like kingliness and royalty and strength
and everything,
and apparently eating anything in my path.
Lions. Yeah, producer Derek called them more like dirt spiders.
We talk about trapdoor spiders, and that's kind of where my mind goes. Is like they've got this little, they're waiting. There's also like that, I think it's a ray that, like an angel ray, I think, that like shimmies its way underneath the sand in shallow water, and then waits for a fish to come by, and then bingo bango,
a few species of ray do that. They will hang out.
A woebegone also, says producer Derek, which is just a great shark name. Someone did the woebegone great by naming it the woebegone.
Well, I think it's an indigenous name, which is
probably very likely.
Are always so much cooler than any name that a European comes up with.
Well, Well, I think you and I
Although
were
I
talking
guess
in the
there are some
Discord.
fun ones too, but
You and I were talking
Oh,
in the Discord
I
about
think it's
like,
an old like Lake Wobegon, like the Garrison Keeler thing. I think it's like an
really?
old like word smashed together, like
oh,
sadness be away type thing. You know, woe be
yeah.
gone.
Oh, really? I thought that one was a native.
Well, let's
Oh,
look.
yeah,
I don't.
you're right. Well, you cut me out saying indigenous then, Derek. Don't let me look stupid.
Yeah, chop that out.
Choppy, choppy.
Well, I think we in the Discord the other day were saying like one of the original words for horse was just like fast. And they're like,
yeah.
whoa, look at that animal. It was fast. Let's just
No,
call it
you're
that.
right, Kelly. You're right. It is an indigenous word that means shaggy beard. It's a weird convergence that Wabagon and Wobegon are similar, and you get British
Oh,
broadcasters
okay.
saying it similarly.
Oh wow, Nexus event
I like it.
that this one particular fish is always called this.
I like that I'm partially correct on that, and I'll take it.
Hey man, as my dad used to say, anything's better than a zero. So turn in your homework assignment. Shaggy beard,
Yeah.
because they kind of have like a little
Yeah, they've got a
catfishy
little thing
face.
going on. Like Amanda both and I just wiggled our fingers in front
Yeah,
of our hands to
kind of
indicate
a
Shaggy. We do
kind
have
of a
to.
walrus-like configuration with our fingers.
We should eventually release these as videos, or so
Someday
the
we'll be
audi-
videos and you can see
the audience can see us make hand motions and things.
yeah, my excellent physical comedy, you know.
Well, yeah, these little guys hang out in these pits and wait for things to come by, and they will eat spiders too. They'll kind of eat whatever smaller spiders, but whatever.
If it falls in the pit, it's done
food.
for.
Yeah, if it falls, it's food. That's just how it goes. So the pit is sort of how would I describe it? Like an inverse, like a funnel almost in
Yeah.
shape. So they're about 5 centimeters deep, which is 2 inches, and 7.5 centimeters or 3 inches wide. So they're not huge.
Okay. So they're like a funnel, kind of not dissimilar from the size of funnel I have in my kitchen.
Yeah, probably. We have like a small funnel like that on the bar for
Yeah.
barware stuff. But I think my favorite part about them is the larvae are sometimes called doodlebugs.
Oh my god, that is the cutest name I've ever heard for such a hideous bug. It's bug hideous, name adorable. When I went to camp as a child, all those many years ago, when you've been to camp for 4 years, they give you a camp name. And my camp
Oh.
name was Doodles. So I'm already feeling an affinity to this bug. Come on, Doodlebug is a cute nickname. If you called someone Doodlebug, they'd be like,
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure one of my friends calls her kid Doodlebug on
Well,
occasion.
then she's got
I bet
great
she doesn't know
nicknames.
the horrors. The horrors of the actual bug.
You have to send her this episode and be like, look, you gotta stop calling her Doodlebug. Or do call her Doodlebug because you know behind
Super
that cute
ferocious.
face.
Yeah.
It's true ferocity.
Doodlebug really kills me. Just thinking about that name for this squatty, short-limbed, round little
So is
thing
this
with
one of
giant
those
pincher.
is this one of those bugs that's more known for its larval stage than its final stage?
Yeah, I would say so.
Oh,
Absolutely.
okay.
The larval stage is so they're called doodlebugs because they make little lines in the sand when they're moving around.
They make little doodles?
They
Oh my
doodle.
gosh.
It's very cute.
I want them to write the word doodle with a doodle and then 2 pits and then more doodling.
More doodling.
Doodle.
You're gonna have to draw that, Amanda. For
Oh no.
the hero. Yeah, they're kind of cute. And I think we were just reading. Amanda was helping me with the culture aspect of this episode. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
That the doodlebug has divination properties.
Yes. So shout out early in the podcast because normally we might say like where we got our information from, but if you are into antlions at all, please go to antlionpit.com. Someone has lovingly crafted a whole website about antlions and
Dedicated to these little dudes.
dedicated and like there's this whole this whole section. You can click down on it. It's the Antlion, the Doodlebug Oracle, and he will answer your questions about doodlebugs, and that is so cute.
It's
But
very,
one of
very
them,
cute.
yeah, and apparently that comes from you ask the pit a question, and then the pit sands shift and it answers your question for you. I think that's so cool.
That's fun. Using animals in augury is a very, very old custom. We
And a
see it in
great sentence, using animals and
augury.
augury.
Oh, I just jargoned that. Sorry. Uh Listeners, augury is just a form of divination, usually used by looking at natural things. So birds, doodlebugs, leaves falling off of a tree, crow configurations. There's all kinds of fun things that ancient people, and I guess still some modern people, use to divine the future. But I love that the doodlebug is part of that long lineage of culture. That's fun.
I gotta ask the pit.
Always ask.
Doodlebug, should I marry him? I can't marry you, I'm sorry. The doodlebug says no.
No. The doodlebug just spit an ant out when I asked. I think that's a
Right
no.
in my face.
Hard
said
no. Yeah, so there's 2,000 species of antlion, and the larvae look pretty similar throughout different species. Some of them live, like I said, in the sand. There is a species in Japan that hangs out on the surface of rocks and kind of hunts that way. It doesn't dig, but it doesn't move a whole lot, so it starts gathering lichen, and it ends up with this fancy lichen jacket, which is super cute. The
He's
species
got a
is
fancy little
Dendroleon jasonensis, but I don't know what the common name is for that. Bugs love a lichen jacket.
So out of curiosity, because the divination seems to take place mostly in chants. So I quickly put Doodlebug song into YouTube and got several responses from the YouTube.
There are songs for this.
Apparently. Oh, number the fourth video is from the Smithsonian channel. Doodlebug is a misleading name for this accomplished assassin. So
Accomplished assassin. They're really laying
Smithsonian wants to tell you, do not call it Doodlebug because he's much more serious than that. I'm going to click on the Doodlebug song 1944 and see what I get.
Oh, I'm sure it's fantastic.
So okay, so far the song is like you got to do what you do Doodlebug. Well, you couldn't do what a katydid did. You could do what a Doodlebug do.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah, it's not great. Oh well.
Well,
I'll have to check out some of those other ones and see if they're any good. All right.
So yeah, there's like a few different types of larvae, but they all kind of do the same thing. They're just around to chomp. Chompy, chompy, chompy. Although what's kind of interesting, and this is the same for lacewings and probably a few other species, is that they're doing all that chomping, right, Amanda? They're catching these other bugs, they're eating, but they can't poop because they don't have an anus.
Where's all the eating go?
It just stays in the body.
Stays?
Yeah.
They just gotta hope that they become an adult before that becomes
a problem,
a crisis.
Yeah, they kind of like they keep it in there, and that some of that energy is used to create silk when they're ready to pupate, but it really just kind of hangs out until the very end of the pupal stage, and then it comes out as a meconium. You're a mom. Have you heard the term meconium before?
Indeed, I have. So
meconium
in humans is the first, sometimes the first several defecations by an infant, and it is extremely different from other poos. It is sticky, tarry, black. It's impossible to wipe off. It takes like 20 wet wipes to get it off, and it is not to be too gross, but it is the product of the fetus, the baby, eating things that are in the womb, has gone down to the stomach and been digested. But there's only so many things in the womb, so it's mostly the baby's own hair and like sloughed skin and like
Oh wow.
placenta pieces.
That,
So
that makes sense. I never really thought about what that would be in a human baby. I knew it was a part of the process, but
a baby, when they're in the early stages of the third trimester, is covered in hair.
because
Like
we're
a
mammals.
right, like a Sam Squanch. All that hair is long and fuzzy and downy to keep the baby warm, even though they're kind of living inside of a 360 hot tub
Yeah.
anyway. But it's just part of it, part of being a mammal. I don't know. They're covered in hair, and then usually they will slough that hair in preparation to be born.
Mm.
So, and sometimes babies will be born with it still on. It has like a fancy name. I don't remember what the name is, but so sometimes there'll be premature babies usually that are covered in a soft downy fluff because they haven't yet shed that hair. And so the meconium is made of that hair that made it down the esophagus of the baby.
Oh, interesting. I don't mind the listeners knowing too much, but yeah, I was born 14 weeks premature, which is quite premature.
Crazy, especially for not to harsh on the 80s, but
82.
incredibly early for the 80s.
What a time.
Like,
and now I wonder if I was covered in this.
maybe because
Maybe
it's like a brief window where like you're not, because I've said before, humans, we kind of become human shaped over the first 6 months, and then those last 3 months are like grow. So it depends on how human shaped you were by
I was missing some outward parts, but they all grew in, and I'm all right. But
yeah, obviously,
yeah, I kind of wonder if I was downy or if they just missed that downy.
Yeah, if you missed the window of being a little owl chick in the nest,
Yeah,
just
a tiny little wolf baby.
woo!
Because we know I'm a wolf girl.
Yes, yes, a werewolf girl.
But yeah, so our friends the Doodlebug also have this meconium step that happens right at the end of the pupal stage before they become adults.
So
It's
they go
probably
there.
not as gnarly as a human.
No, like so they go their whole little egg, hatch, dig a pit, eat some stuff, eat some more stuff, eat some more stuff, and then right before they become adults, they let it all hang out.
Yeah, basically.
Let it all go. Release. That's interesting. To only poo once at like 17.
yeah, that's the way to think about it.
It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. He's almost a man. Look how much poo he has in him.
It's a long time because it might take 9 months for them to reach adulthood, or it might take 2 years. So depends on the location, the climate that they're living in.
2 years of build up living in you?
That's a tiny little body.
Crazy. And like 2 years is a long time to be a larva anyway. As we've said before, bugs just don't last very long. Sorry, bugs. Unless you're freezing yourself over the winter and then you kind of cheat and last several winters via freezing.
Well, the warmer the climate, the faster your development goes with insects. So if these guys are in like the cooler climate, they might take them a few seasons to get through it to be an adult. And it's only about, I think, 2 what is it, like 2 weeks for them to be a pupa. So it's mostly baby time.
Yeah, another one of those ones that's just, he's a doodlebug for a long, long time. And then I assume he's not a beautiful doodle man for very long.
He's a doodle man for between 20 to 25 days.
Yeah.
Maybe 45 if you're really lucky. But about a month. We'll say about a month.
Yeah. Another one of those bugs that has like our human bias of staying the same shape. So like it's really his antlion form is most of his form.
Yeah, his little pinchy. Well, producer Derek, can you tell us anything about your antlions that you're keeping?
Yeah.
You're keeping live ones. Yeah.
He's going to stay in your pit for 9 months and then poo on you and leave?
So I feed my antlions dermestid beetle larvae. I have a colony of dermestid beetles that I have used to clean carcasses before, but they mostly eat cat food right now. So every once in a while, I will sacrifice one to the antlions. And The antlions have little jars at their end that has sand in it that I collected from the site they were found at. And then they dig little pits sometimes. And then I drop a little bug in there. The bug falls into the pit. And I have video of this we'll upload. And then the antlion bites it, injects venom, and then they bury themselves again and they disappear for a few days. And then when they're hungry again, new pit shows up.
And it's a few days between feeding that they're
It
looking
seems
for?
to be. I only feed them when the pit shows up because otherwise the beetles just kind of wander around aimlessly. And that seems unfair to them.
Yeah, you want it to be short and quick. But they have no problem with do you feed them adult domestic beetles or larvae?
I've tried both. The adult domestic beetles were much harder for them to eat. I think because they have the adult carapace, whereas the larvae are a bit more soft-bodied. So it took one of the antlions several attempts to pierce that exoskeleton. So it was like flinging it around back and forth, just whap, 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 whap,
Oh
whap,
no!
trying to get a good bite on him.
Like the Hulk with Loki.
Yes, very much exactly the same.
Oh, that poor beetle.
But the fun thing is, sometimes the bugs don't fall into the pit the way that the antlion wants. So it throws sand at the bugs to knock them down so that they fall into the pit where it can grab them.
Oh, that's fun. So they use the sand as a weapon. That's very cool.
Yeah, so they throwing sand at the other bugs to knock them in. And I think it probably varies what size pit to what size prey you can get, because the steepness and the grains of the sand will probably affect, like, a larger insect will have an easier time getting out of a smaller pit.
Which is probably where the ant part of the antlion thing comes from, because ants are pretty small and will end up easily in any pit that they kind of come across.
Yes.
That's exciting. And how long have you had them now?
I collected these guys, I think, in, I want to say late August. I initially thought they were squirrel burrows because I'm always looking for squirrels because they're my enemy. And
you heard it here first.
Yeah. Squirrels will cache nuts in small little pits. So you look at those divots, but these divots were too fine to be squirrels. So they were too regularly shaped and weren't kind of like lumpy. So they were a closer investigation. They were antlions, had to dig them up, sift out the soil to find the little guys. They're very well camouflaged.
Oh, yeah.
And then collected those. You don't see them as much in Portland proper. These guys I found in one of the suburbs. I think they require very specific soils, and a lot of Portland, because it's right on the river, is more silty soil versus the sand that they seem to like a little bit better.
Yeah, they need fine grain. They need like easily movable grains of sand.
Like Zen garden sand.
Kind of.
That's what you should do, Derek. You should get a Zen garden like kit.
Fill it with doodlebugs.
Fill it with doodlebugs and see what they make. And if you got a big enough one, you could put both of them in there, and I think they'd be okay.
The problem with that is cats.
Oh yeah, that's true. You have to get one with the top. Can't let the cats. Maybe they're just trying to show the doodlebug how it's done. Hey, dude, this is how you use. This is how you use the body.
The fun thing is, so there is sand all over my desk now, because when they're digging the pits, it's the same. They just throw sand out. So they've just flung sand all over my desk.
Oh, that's great. Do you have videos of them digging?
I do not. They seem to do that at night.
Oh, gotta set up a little camera.
They're very hard to photograph.
A trail cam in your own office.
Yes. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited about your doodlebugs, and I hope they pupate. I don't know if you're prepared to keep them for many months to maybe a couple years.
I've had this beetle colony for about 2 years now. So
the doodlebug will be a lot easier. Yeah. Well, what's funny is even when they'll emerge as adults and go up and they'll mate, because really what all adult bugs want to do is mate immediately. And then the females will come back down to the sand, really not too far from where they hatched, and lay more eggs, but sometimes they get eaten by their younger relatives because they don't discriminate on what they're grabbing. So if she lands by a pit,
if it's in the pit, it's fair game. That's the rules.
Food. Yeah, she'll grab them. And they're not very strong flyers. So I think I mentioned at the top of the show, the adults they look like damselflies kind of, but they really flutter more than fly. When we think of damselflies and dragonflies, we think of acrobatics and speed and um, like the hawk of the bug world. But these guys are kind of floaty and not very strong flyers, and they're nocturnal. So you'll only see the adults around dusk into the nighttime, which is when dragonflies are at rest. So you shouldn't really mix them up too much. Are you drawing, Amanda?
I'm trying to draw, and I'm not sure how to incorporate his big chompers without making him look straight terrifying. So what I've done is I've given him portals that he sends you into the pit. He sends you to another dimension known as the pit.
The pit.
And so I've given him kind of, although they look very protozoa at the moment, very amoebas, because I was trying to like do like a portal dimension, but like also have like these kind of ghostly doodle patterns coming off the portals. But so far it just looks like amoebas. Well, that's why you do multiple.
Well, I mean, thinking about big chompies, what if you think about Venom?
Oh, because he's got that big gaping maw, right?
Could you make
an idea?
A hero? I guess
that's
I don't know if they're heroes.
Trouble.
Maybe Antlion is not a hero.
Venom but... is that's up to you. He eats ants. Eating a fellow bug, often villain behavior. But we haven't had a villain in a hot minute either. Do you want to give him a Craven the Hunter jacket here, where he's got the big lion mane on the back? There we go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, this is some real villain vibes. I'm gonna be honest with you.
It's getting better now.
Maybe, yeah. My only other thought is to give him like dual blades that are chompy shape.
Big scimitars.
Yeah.
Oh, scimitars. Yeah, that'd be cool.
All right, let me look up what the shape of his chomper is real fast here.
Can you talk more about those chompers and the venom, Kelly?
Oh, sure. So they, like I said, they're pretty voracious eaters, and they're mostly head and chomps. And they do produce venom. So the venom, just like venom in other.
Whoa! You're burying the lead on this. They produce venom.
Sorry.
So you fall in the pit. They chomp you with their giant jaws, and they have venom.
Yeah, they envenomate.
This guy's a villain for sure.
You see, bad guy. He's got instant bad guy vibes.
He's triple chapping you. He's doing triple kills on you.
Well, they also produce like an enzyme that helps to liquefy the innards of whatever they've chomped, much like a spider, because they can grab, but they can't chew. So they need to kind of suck that out. Yeah, gonna suck out what'd you say? Crunchy on the outside, juicy on the inside.
Yeah, crunchy on the outside, gooey on the inside. Crunchy on the outside.
So this venom and the enzymes, the digestive enzymes, they kind of pump into their prey. It's to get the juice out. Oh, Derek said played by Tom Hardy. It's been a minute since we mentioned Tom Hardy in the pod.
We mentioned love of Kelly's life, Tom Hardy.
Welcome back, Tom. Maybe he's got kids. Maybe he listens to the pod. It would be my dream.
Tom Hardy being super into bugs. Honestly, that tracks.
I think it's possible. But yeah, so they've got venom. I'm thinking about superhero abilities. Oh god, producer Derek is letting us know that antlion pits in Japanese are called ant hell.
Oh no!
Oh, the ants.
The Japanese don't mess around when it comes to portals to another place. Like I don't know how familiar with the property Yu-Gi-Oh you were, but they had to heavily edit it for American audiences because the Japanese version, if you lost the card game, you died and got sent to what the Americans called the Shadow Realm. Mm. But like, let's face it, it was like straight up sending you to the dark place, you know? It was not good. It was not good. And like they also like would like buzzsaw your ankles off. Yu-Gi-Oh was an intense franchise in Japan.
Wow. I did not watch it. I'm not my anime knowledge extends into the early 2000s, and that's about it. That's when I got off the train.
Some Inuyasha, and then you were like, this is enough for me. I'm outie.
I think the genres started switching. I'm a big fantasy fan, so I watched Record of Lodoss War. I watched the Slayers.
Did you watch Vampire Hunter D? That was a big one at the time.
Yeah, I watched the little Vampire Hunter D. I don't think I like the art on that one as much. It was a little and then it started switching into more, I don't know, the genres just started changing. And now the genre seems to be teenage dating. And
okay.
no,
so, it's like any other form of, it's like television. There's all these different genres. There's dating genres. There's what's called sports anime.
Seems to be like you're in high school and maybe you're dating a pigeon man. I don't know. There's a lot going on. My husband got me a video game where you can date a pigeon man.
Yeah, well, that just sounds like a delightful time. A pigeon man would take good care of you.
It's very cute, actually. It's very, very cute.
Yeah, anime is one of those things where, like, if there's we call it, there's an anime for anything, because you can just Google a phrase plus anime at the end, and there will be an anime for that.
That's probably true. I should look, because I bet there's some nice fantasy animes happening right now that I would really enjoy.
Yeah,
I haven't checked in.
Have you
15 years?
Oh yeah, what are you normally into? You said fantasy. Do you like vampires? Because there's Castlevania.
I tried Castlevania,
ghost hunting,
and nothing happened. Like,
they talk for a lot of that show.
And nothing happened, and I gave up. I said, I need something to happen here. I can't do this.
Yeah, Lord Vampire's like, you killed my wife. You're all dead to me, and then nothing happens for a while. They're all just like, I can't believe he did that. That was crazy.
Yeah, they're traveling around. They're talking to each other. Nothing else is going on. I couldn't do it. I'm like a dragons, wizards, fantasy. That's my jam.
Okay, cool. I'll see what I can find for you.
If you find anything, let me know. And I like humor. Yeah.
I've never. This is gonna get the anime fans mad at me. I'm sorry. I watched the Full Metal Alchemist anime when it came out in the early 2000s, and then they did a second series that was more based on the books, and people claim that the book one's way better. But I'm like, I already watched this anime. I already watched 50 episodes of this anime.
Wow, 50 episodes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you should also know that. Well, it's like 2 seasons, and each season's 20 episodes. But like, I already know this story. I already saw it. But people are like, but you didn't get the book version, which has all this other information. So recently, my friend has been on me again to be like, you got to watch the updated one. And I'm like,
what is there an anime about an antlion?
Now there's the question. I know that there's animes about bugs. We should do. We really got to do one where we make Kelly watch bug stuff. We got to make her watch A Bug's Life. We got to make her watch some bug stuff.
Yeah, I would do it.
Do it for the pod. Ooh.
Derek says there are animes with antlions, so there
you go.
I guess you're right, Amanda. Google anything with an anime.
Anything.
How is our Venom-like ish bad guy?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to get his mouth to be open without making him look absolutely insane.
Maybe he's got to look insane. Maybe that's just
has
part
to
of
look
his
insane.
jam. Yeah.
I think he's just gonna have to look like a creepy antlion man, which is a shame because Doodlebug is so cute. I want to make him cute, but the facts are the facts. So he drops you in a pit, chomps you in half, and envenomates you to suck out your guts.
Well, he's got a cute name, but looking at these photos, he is not a cutie. And I think most bugs are cute, but baby antlion is something. Yes, Derek found the pigeon dating game that my husband bought for me. It's called Hey Tofu Boyfriend. If anyone is interested, on Steam, it's very cute. Your boyfriends are pigeons.
I've heard that pigeons are good little friends. That's what I've heard. I only get information from Derek though, and he tends to hate pest species.
No, pigeons were domesticated. All of the pigeons you see were once pets at some point. Then once we developed, cable lines instead of using carrier pigeons, they all kind of got released.
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
So city pigeons are domesticated pigeons that have rewilded themselves.
They're feral.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Are there other animals that are like that? I mean, I assume a certain amount of horse like populations in the US are that way because horses.
All of the wild horses in
Yeah.
the United States
Yeah.
were once owned. They are feral.
And feral is specifically a domesticated animal that has become wild.
Yes.
There you go.
There's plenty of pigs and different breeds of pig that have become feral over the years too. I think like the Smoky Mountains had a big problem between two types of domestic pig coming together to hybridize and make a big problem. I think that was in the 70s.
That's the real trouble when a lot of times the
clear that up by
domesticated
now.
form can create new, better forms.
Feral hogs are a big problem, particularly in like Texas.
Yeah, oh yeah, Texas has hog problems. Australia has, I believe, feral hog problems too.
They have feral cat problems as well.
And cats, yeah.
New Zealand, feral cats are a huge issue because they have all the dumb birds.
Yeah, their birds don't know how to
They've got all the birds that don't know to leave. The dodo problem. Okay, I gotta change this man's silhouette on his pants. Because villains wear pants. They don't wear unitards.
Is he going to be a villain or an anti-hero like Venom?
Yeah, I can think part of me wants to make him in the same universe as our pavement ant, where she was like a mercenary for hire.
Did he eat her arm?
Oh, snap.
Oh, yeah.
He's the reason she doesn't have an arm. That's dark.
That is dark. Building the lore. Building the BH universe lore.
I gotta make his jacket more flaky. He's gotta have a flaky jacket here.
Oh, because he's camouflaged.
He's camouflaged. Plus, he has that lichen. He's got that lichen jacket on. Okay, I'm gonna call this for now. I'll give you guys this sketch form. Ink him. I gotta make these portals to another world more jaggedy now that he's a
not a nice guy.
Not a nice fella.
Yeah, I like him as an anti-hero. That's kind of like Venom. I need to read more Venom comics. I haven't in a long time. I'm very behind.
I was just talking to
on the Venom story arcs.
So I was just talking to my friends about this thing I call, and I'm sure the other people have a better name for it, which is protagonist bias. You want the protagonist of something to be good. And Venom became popular enough that he got his own book. And then very quickly after that, he becomes kind of the good guy because you want to root for your protagonist, which is why you get problems with like movies like The Joker, where like he's the villain of this story. He's bad, but because of he's the protagonist, he's our point of view character, I want to root for him because if he's good, I'm good.
Yeah, even though he's doing bad stuff.
Even though he's clearly bad
stuff. Yeah.
We were talking about it specifically about the upcoming Hunger Games movie because it's a prequel about the guy who's bad in the original Hunger Games series. And I'm like, I hope that they're careful with the protagonist bias because otherwise it's going to make it seem like he was right to do that. He was right to leave children to die in the arena. That was fine.
I'm surprised they're doing this prequel. It's been so long since the Hunger Games came out. Like who wants this?
So it's only been a couple years since the book, and so I read the Hunger Games series when it was new. I watched the movies when they were new, and I read the prequel. And the tone of the prequel book is so different from those early novels because the prequel book is so obviously meant to be a film treatment. Like there's just like very little world building, very little explaining of what things look like because why bother? It's going to be a movie in like 2 years. It was really interesting. This the tonal shift of this is a novel where I need to tell you everything versus this is a book of which you will see and be influenced by.
So the author wrote it assuming it was going to be made into movies?
The movie deal was made before the book.
Really?
I believe so, according to my friend who's like deep into Hunger Games. She's like, that's her
that's her jam.
Too. Yeah.
That actually happened with Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Really? Michael Kratt wrote that to be a movie?
He pitched the movie before he wrote the book.
Oh, then
He
why
already
didn't
had,
they
like, a book.
use the book?
I know, right? They don't use the book.
They
I'm
didn't
like,
even use the book for Jurassic Park.
I saw a thread the other day about Jurassic Park, and people were like, "Why isn't Hammond the villain?" And I'm like, and every single comment was like, "He is in the book. He is in the book. He is in the
Yeah.
book. He is in the book. He
He's
is in the book."
100% a villain in the book. He is so unlikable in the book.
Yeah, I like him better as the likable grandpa who
Me
has,
too. Yeah.
who has oops, all mistakes. So I popped him into the art tag here.
Yeah, he's
He's
good.
got kind of a crazy maw going
I
on.
like he's a little insane looking.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for.
I believe anything called Doodlebug that lives in the sand and makes little pit traps has got to be insane. There's a level of.
Can you imagine? Okay, so this guy, he's here. He's got his gaping, toothy maw. He's got his giant knife. He's got portals that send you to somewhere, but it's unclear where.
Somewhere.
That, like,
sometimes it's just grandma's house, so it's fine.
Right. I assume make a horrible like crackling noise as they.
Oh yeah.
As they, and then and they're like, "Who are you?" And he goes, name's Doodlebug." And you're like, "Oh no, this man's insane. Who calls himself Doodlebug?"
Well, his superhero villain name is definitely just Doodlebug.
People are like, "The Antlion," and he's like, "No, please, I'm Doodlebug."
Why do you keep calling me Antlion? It's Doodlebug.
Like, Operation Antlion. This is Agent Doodlebug reporting. Please be Antlion. No, my friends call me Doodlebug.
But he's got no friends, so it's just him.
No friends, so just him insisting that he's Doodlebug. Oh, so sad.
Oh, and a poor anti-hero. He chopped off her arm. It's just a whole story.
Yeah, he definitely has to have a specialized, like, he specializes in laying traps for like ambush of the
producer
enemy.
Derek mentioned bear traps, perhaps.
Yes, let's give him a bear trap on his hip here. Junk, 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 junk. Yeah. So he's like maybe like a demolitions sort of expert thing where like he's laying all the mines and you're gonna fall into that pit of his trap. I thought it was just an abandoned warehouse, but no. And then somehow he gets powers from that. Too many grenades gets the radiation.
That's not really how grenades work, but that's okay.
Oh, sorry. I was imagining the grenades from Halo where they're like glowing.
Oh,
like,
glowing grenades, yeah.
They call it a grenade, but like, what is it really a grenade? Because this is not a grenade.
Oh, Derek. Derek is helping fill in superpowers on the field notes, and he just wrote for one superpower, art, an accomplished doodler.
That's what he does in his spare time. They're like, you're such a villain, and he goes, I think of myself as an artist first. Yeah. That's just one thing about me, that I'm a horrible assassin. You don't know me at all. You know that I love to look at the moon and doodle. Oh, that's the other thing we should mention. We should mention that he was mentioned on the moon.
Oh yeah, tell us about that. You came across that?
I came across that on. Let me get over to it. Yes, on ANTLIONPit.com, which I now assume is run by Doodlebug himself. This is one of his many hobbies when he's off the clock. So Doodlebug is mentioned, the little chant of like, Doodlebug, tell me what I want to know. Is mentioned in like the Mark Twain book of Adventures of Tom Sawyer. So I guess Charles Duke of being on the moon fame, so vivid were his childhood memories of doodlebugs that Apollo 16 astronaut Charles Duke compared certain lunar craters to antlion pits. A transcript of his conversations while on the moon's surface include a version of the antlion chant, Doodlebug, are you home? I assume to tell me the future. That's amazing. There's probably not a lot of animals that have been mentioned by an astronaut while they stand on the Earth's surface.
Even the moon's surface.
Oh, sorry. My bad. Plenty that have been mentioned on the Earth's surface. I dare say all of them. I guess not by an astronaut. I guess if we're going to use that caveat. But while he's on the moon, he's thinking about doodlebugs.
He's thinking about a doodlebug.
That's pretty
Doodlebug's
impressive.
famous. He's famous. Oh, how many legs would you give old Doodles?
Name 6 out of 6. Horrifying maw, 6 out of 6. I can't fault this guy. I feel like there's not a lot he does that I'm not like, that's cool. Except for not pooing. I feel like that's an evolutionary drawback. I feel like pooing is an important part of eating, and he certainly does plenty of eating.
He does a lot of eating.
He's out of balance with the world if he eats but does not poo. His karmic justice is out of whack.
Maybe that's why he's so angry.
Maybe. He just constantly has a terrible stomach ache. Horrible. Eat some mini wheats.
Some fiber, buddy. Make a
Get
little
some-
protein shake in the morning, drop some fiber in it, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
I
This guy drinks way too much protein shakes. You know this guy is avoiding
no
up
fiber. Yeah.
no fiber. Just chicken breast, unsalted.
Chicken breast and creatine shakes all day long.
I'm gonna give him 5 out of 6. I think he's really maybe 4 out of 6. Because his final form's not very intimidating.
His final form, yeah. He's losing points for me in the adult stage, which just
Yeah.
being nectar and
Just being a regular
and
bug.
pollen. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 4. He loses a point for being a lame adult, and he loses points for not following the rules of karmatic justice. That if you must eat, you must poo.
I'm gonna give him a 4.5, I guess. We are
Oh, yeah.
pollinator positive, so I'm gonna give
That's
him back
true.
half a star for being a pollinator. But his adult form is so lame compared to this insane looking larval form. And the name, yeah, Doodlebug as a name is just
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
it's fantastic. It's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I can't fault Doodlebug. I kind of want to be known as Doodlebug now. I kind of want to be Doodlebug.
It's never
That's
too
such a-
late, Amanda.
It's a cute. That's the thing with nicknames. So it's really hard to nickname yourself.
Yeah.
It's really hard to be like, it's one of the jokes I think that lasted on How I Met Your Mother was that he insisted that he have this cool nickname, and everyone was like, that's not going to stick. I feel like that's how it is. Someone else who is also cool, by the way, someone cooler than you has to give
you the name.
you a cool nickname. Otherwise
tough.
it's lame.
It's tough. Do you have a nickname? Speaking of nicknames.
Well, okay. Well, this is gonna be too much into my personal life. My friends call me Death sometimes. because I have these 4 friends. I'm one of these 4 friends, and we call ourselves the 4 Horsemen. And I'm Death.
Okay. That's great though.
So they
Pretty
claim
solid.
I have a deathly touch. They claim that my clammy little baby hands, they don't like to be touched with them. So I'm also the only one who's brought life into the world. So
Oh, so
it's a
strike
deep
the
nickname.
balance. It is a
They,
very
they,
deep
don't, they don't usually call me that straight to my face. It's usually like a chat thing. They're like, "Oh, Death, I
Yeah.
have something for you." So I have
Oh.
my other friends, of course, being Famine, Plague, and War.
Very nice. I love it.
It's a weird nick. I'm sorry that's so weird.
Not weird. Friends come up with interesting things for each other. That's just how it goes.
Do you have any cool nicknames, or are you just the Kelatron?
I don't think I don't have any nicknames. I'm a little sad about it, actually.
We'll have to come up with one for you. When you find a bug that really speaks to you, we'll do that.
Yeah, sometimes my buddy calls me Keltown, and I don't really know why or where it came from, but that's about it.
There's a couple that you can pretty much put
you
on
know?
any name. You're like the Stir, the Town.
Yeah.
You can add an O to most names in English anyway. You can add an O. I know that in China, so Americans, we tend to add E on the end of things to make it cute. Your name is Ed, I call you Eddie.
Yeah.
Your name is Bill, I call you Billy. In China, it's to double the name.
Oh, that's cute. I like that.
So it's just one of those like language differences. And I wish we did the double in English because I think it's so much cute. Hello, hey Bill, how you doing?
Amanda, it would be very hard though.
Oh yeah, you'd have to call me like man, you know. Hey man.
Yeah, I
my
don't really have anything. Kel.
Yeah,
Occasionally someone will be
Kel's
Kel.
bells, whatever it is. Yeah.
Kelly is too long for some reason.
Yeah. My husband to my niece was Uncle Dee Dee for a long time because she couldn't say Cody. So she'd say
Aw.
DD because repeating is another thing that kids do. It's why my dad's grandpa name is Gaga, because you can just say things twice when you're 18 months.
Yeah, basically. It's easier that way.
It's why you'll see, like, across all human languages, there's a couple sounds that get repeated a lot, and it's
Like
because
Papa and
kids
Mama too.
exactly like
Yeah.
Papa, Mama, Baba. A lot of those are names for adults, in my opinion, because adults said, "Oh, she wants me. I must be Mama." So it's like it's us naming ourselves after what a baby can say, so that we feel validated that they love us. So that's my opinion, anyway. Which is why I make my children call me Mother.
Mother.
Mother, feed me, Mother.
And so I feel like my cats are little Victorian boys.
Yes,
Mama.
especially Darcy is a little Victorian boy trapped in a cat body. Mother, Finn has laid upon my bed once again. You must remove him.
Usually it's Finn's chewing on Darcy's ear, and that's the problem. Well, I think we've doodled it up. We're both fans. We're both fans of the Doodle.
Fans of the Doodle, especially if he's played by Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. He must be. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us. We're pumped. Happy to have you. Amanda, thoughts?
We're about to listen to some new credits, so you'll have to listen to new credits to get to the end stinger. And if you guys don't know, there's an end stinger after the credits.
Mm-hmm.
You've been missing out on it this whole time if you haven't been staying to listen to the credits.
And stingers are fun. Find us on all the social medias. If you have bug questions, email us at bugsneedheroes@gmail.com. We love listener emails and we reply to them. So, yeah. We love you. Bye.
We love you. Bye. Bugs Need Heroes was created by Derek Conrad and Kelly Zimmerman. Hosted by Amanda Niday and Kelly Zimmerman. Bugs Need Heroes is produced and edited by Derek Conrad, with some assistance from Chelsey Bawden and a few cats. Character art is by Amanda Niday. Our music is Ladybug Castle by Rolemusic. Got a bug question? Email us at bugsneedheroes@gmail.com. Check us out at bugsneedheroes.com, and most of the socials are under Bugs Need Heroes. Thank you to the Entomological Society of America for the Chrysalis Fund grant. All right. Bugs Need Heroes is produced and edited by Derek Conrad, with some assistance from Chelsey Bawden and
Boop, 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 boop. All right. Bugs Need Heroes was created by Derek Conrad and Kelly Zimmerman. Hosted by Amanda Niday. Oh, sorry, Amanda. I just called you
Amanda.
I'm not used to doing the reading prompts.